Hey guys, Scott Bland with Jim Bland Construction here to talk about one of my favorite topics. It really is. When people ask me how often can I go to my job and walk through and look at it and see what's going on? And that's a very easy answer. And the answer is as often as you possibly can. We want you out on the job as much as you possibly can be, because if you see something you don't understand, you see something you think is wrong, uh, I want to know about it immediately. My project manager wants to know about it immediately. We need to know as soon as you see it, because if it is something that's wrong, we need to get it changed as quickly as we can, because there's very definitely a period in a job where it's very difficult to go back and change something if it wasn't the way you wanted it. So we want to know why we can still make that change. We can still change it. I don't ever want a scenario where you're living in the house and every day you're looking at something and you just hate it, and you didn't tell us you didn't like it before we got too far along, and you just figure, well, I'll just live with it. We don't want you to just live with anything. If there's something out there that you don't like, you don't understand, ask us immediately. I want to make sure it's not something that you're going to live in your house and hate every single day you're there. That's how you end up living in a house for 3 or 4 years and selling it. And we don't want that. We want you to love your house and to be the house you want. Now, on the flip side of that is, if you see something that you think is wrong or it's not okay, or you don't like, don't panic. Uh, don't freak out. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. Don't think there's something that's going wrong, that we're doing something wrong, or we don't know what we're doing, or whatever. At stages in construction, things are going to look odd to you. You don't do this every single day. We do. Most of the time, when you see something that you think is wrong, it's actually not wrong. It just looks weird because it's in the middle of construction. But I want to explain that to you. So I want you to reach out and tell us when there's something you don't understand or you're not sure what it is. I just want to make sure you don't immediately assume when you reach out to us that it's something that's wrong. It may not be. It may be the way it is at that stage. So understand, when we do this communication back and forth, we want to know if you think something is wrong, you don't understand something, but we also want to make sure that you take it from the point of view of, I haven't seen this before. I want to make sure this is the way it should be, or it needs to change. And we talk through it. We work through it one way or the other. You hired us because you trust us to do the job correctly. So if you see something you think that's wrong or not being done right, bring it to us. We'll take care of it, or explain to you why it is the way it is. In most cases, that's the way it is. It's something that we're aware of and we take care of it, or it's not something wrong to begin with. But we got to have that back and forth communication, which means we want you on the job as often as you can be. Of course, we got tons of scheduled walkthroughs, but if you can be there in between those walkthroughs, that's great. The only thing I ask is, be careful when you're out there. Pay attention as you're walking around. There's always a board somewhere with a nail sticking up like this that really affects the bottom of the foot. Also, when you're walking through a doorway, glance up, because typically things that are up there that just kind of hanging on for dear life, they're going to wait and fall when you walk underneath them. That's when they're going to fall. So pay attention up, pay attention down when you're on a job site so you don't get hurt, don't step on something. But we want you guys out there as much as you can be so you can ask questions, we can answer them. When we get to the end of the job, it's your house the way you wanted it, the way you expected. We've done it that way since 1974. We're always going to do it that way, guys. We'll do it that way for you too.